Morning, this is the clerk. If we could ask dynamic captioning to please send a test caption. Again, this is the clerk requesting a captions test.
Everybody ready? Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. I would like to go ahead and let's call this Board of Supervisors meeting to order. If I could please have the clerk please call the roll.
Supervisor Abekoga,
Here.
Supervisor Jung,
Here.
Supervisor Ellenberg,
I'm here.
Vice President Arenas
Saw her, but
is
she's
absent.
just in the back, just right here as we speak. Present.
Is present. President Lee,
Good morning, President.
you have a quorum.
All right, first I would like to ask if you're in the chambers and require Spanish and Vietnamese translation devices are available at the back of the chambers. The clerk can assist you with the setup. Translation is also available on Zoom using the interpretation button. Additionally, as a gentle reminder for public commenters, staff, and those of us on the dais, please speak clearly and at the measured pace directly into the microphone to ensure accurate translation. And I'm going to go ahead and move and ask Supervisor Ellenberg to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand if you are able. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. And then item 3 is invocation. Today, I believe Supervisor Abekoga, could you please introduce today's invocator?
Good morning, and thank you, President Lee. It's a real honor to have the incredible San Jose Chidori Band join us for this week's invocation. As the first Japanese American woman to serve on this Board of Supervisors, I'm extremely proud to, thank you. I'm extremely proud to use my platform to uplift and honor the cultural traditions that have shaped me and our community. The Chidori Band represents resilience and the deep love of music, which I also share, that has connected generations of Japanese Americans. Formed in 1953 during a time when many Japanese were rebuilding their lives after being interned in World War II, this band became a source of joy, healing, and cultural pride. Music has always had the power to heal, to bring people together, to preserve history, and to remind us of who we are, even in the face of adversity. We cannot talk about this history without acknowledging the hardships that Japanese Americans endured. On February 19, 1942, Executive Order 9066 authorized the forcible removal of more than 120,000 Japanese and Japanese Americans, men, women, and children, from their homes and into faraway incarceration camps simply because of their ancestry. They lost their businesses, their livelihoods, and for many, their faith in a country they called home. Yet, despite that fear and those hardships, they found ways to create, to sing, and to keep their traditions alive. Today, amidst open hostility against others in our country, we must remember this history so that we do not repeat traumatic mistakes of the past. Fear and division should never define who we are. Othering and outcasting people have no place here in Santa Clara County or anywhere in our nation. We must continue to stand together to uplift one another and to ensure that every person, regardless of their background, is treated with dignity and respect. A theme of my office is celebrating Women's History Month. During this month, the power of encouragement. The San Jose Chidori Band flourished because of the encouragement of its leaders, leaders who recognized talent in younger generations and empowered them to pursue their passion for singing and music. Their belief in others helped preserve an art form and a legacy that continues to thrive today. This is a powerful reminder that planting seeds of encouragement can change a life and can enrich a community. Let us remind ourselves that kindness, community, and solidarity will always be stronger than fear and hatred. We are so fortunate to live in a place that is both diverse and embraces that diversity, where traditional clothing, dance, and music from all cultures are not only welcomed, but celebrated. Chidori is a perfect example of how cultural and artistic expression strengthens our bonds as a community. To the musicians and singers of Chidori Band, thank you so much for being here. Your dedication ensures that the rich sounds of Japanese American history will continue to inspire future generations. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to have you here today to share this moment and to honor our culture and our history that means so much to me. So thank you so much. And with that, I'd like to present the Chidori Band.
上を向いて歩こう涙がこぼれないように思い出す春の日一人ぼっちの夜上を向いて歩こう滲んだ星を数えて思い出す夏の日一人ぼっちの夜幸せは雲の上に幸せは空の上に上を向いて歩こう涙がこぼれないように泣きながら歩く一人ぼっちの夜思い出す秋の日一人ぼっちの夜悲しみは星の影に悲しみは月の影に上を向いて歩こう涙がこぼれないように泣きながら歩く一人ぼっちの夜Thank you very much.
And I'd like to just recognize the band members, Michael Yoshihara, who's the band director and saxophone, Ron Montano, our vocalist, and Kirk Tamura, our keyboardist. And thank you so much. Grew up listening to that song. My parents taught it to me when I was younger, so it brings back a lot of memories. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ohio. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you very, very much. Wow, that was a way lovely way to start our meeting. Thank you, Supervisor Alvin Koger, for inviting them here this morning. Yes. Let's see, moving to the next item, which is we don't have any adjournments or memoriams and no commendation proclamations for today for presentations, so move straight to public comments, which is the item reserved for members of the public to address the board, not on any items on the agenda. And public who wish to address the board not on the agenda should request to speak at this time. Please fill out a speaker card and return it to our clerk. We will call up to 30 names now, and then the remainder names will then be called at the end of the agenda. In-person speakers will be called first, followed by the Zoom speakers, and no further requests will allow us to speak for today on the continued public comment if we need that. Reminder for those on public on Zoom, as soon as the first speaker in the chambers is speaking, no more new speaker cards will be taken. So, Curtis, good morning.
Good morning.
How many speaker cards do we have today?
Looks like we have 15 speakers in chambers, and we have 2 hands raised on Zoom.
So we got 17. All right, let's do 1 minute each, please. Thank you.
All right, and for the record, we are closing the speaker queue at this point.
That's right. We are closing the speaker queue for both in person and on Zoom. Thank you.
All right, we'll call our names in batches. Please line up and approach the podium when it is your turn. Our first speakers, Tanya York, Mindy Jung, Angela Ailman, Alma Roja Soto, Arcelia Gonzalez. My apologies if I have mispronounced any names.
Oh, it's right here. Oh, okay. Do I just speak now? Okay. Good morning, advisor, supervisor, and good morning, everyone in the audience. My name is Mindy Duan, and I'm one of the caregivers, in-home support caregivers. Today, I would like to take the moment to highlight the vital roles of the in-home support caregivers. Every day, we provide more than just assistance. We offer comfort, dignity, and independence to those who rely on us. For many clients who are their connection to the outside world, their source of stability and their advocate, whether it was helping them with the daily task, offering companionship, or ensure safety. Our presence allow them to remain in their homes while remaining a quality life that they deserve. This job requires patience, empathy, and dedication. It's not just about physical care, but it's also about emotional care.
Thank you. Yeah, any other comments that you have, you cannot say, you could absolutely send a copy to our clerk and we'll add it to the record.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
I'll
you're
go ahead and do that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Please, next, keep stamp up. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Tanya York. I'm a proud union member of SEIU Local 2015. I've been an IHSS provider in Santa Clara for 26 years. I care for my sister who suffers from mental retardation. She's a paranoid schizophrenic. She has anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, and she's legally blind. The county needs to take action and increase wages to attract and retain caregivers so that we can meet our commitments for care. We care for the sickest, weakest, most vulnerable members of our society. To make sure we keep caregivers in this industry, we need a strong contract. Show us you are ready to work with us by investing in our work that helps to address the current crisis in this county. The crisis will only get worse until you do something about it. Thank you.
Yes, please come up to the podium.
Good morning, Board of Supervisors. My name is Arcelia Gonzalez, and I've been in this field for more than 20 years. And, well, I'm very happy with my job, but I'm not happy when I bring money home. It's not enough. And I know there's rise cost of living affects all of us. We can't stay silent. We need action. We need your support. Please, we need your support. We need more benefits to attract the younger generation too, not only for us, but for the generation coming. And we are government employees as far as I'm concerned, and we're not treated like government employees. I thank you very much for letting me share my thoughts. Thank you.
I'm going to call a few more names. Alice Cow, Robert Edwards, Robert Hobbs, Jianfen Huang, Lev Mladiev.
Hi. Why does the Board of Supervisors consider switching our election method to ranked choice voting? Ranked choice advocates claim that RCV give minority who are at disadvantage a better chance to win. I'm looking at all of you. Our board currently consists of only minorities. You all won without ranked choice voting. And now one voter doubt you as a compromise choice because over 50% of voters choose you as their best choice. If you win because of ranked choice voting, there will be many doubts. Oakland, San Francisco, and many cities showed us their winner did not get over 50% votes. They won by prematurely eliminating people's vote and by adding people's second, third, and even last choice. Oakland Mayor Gentile won despite losing 8 rounds. Minorities don't need a different election method to win. You all proved it. Every voter deserves to choose between final two. Vote no on ranked choice voting.
Yes, please step up.
Hello? Why are we considering ranked choice voting when it has such a poor track record for success? Oakland is currently trying to repeal it and has currently had to recall their mayor. San Francisco is trying to repeal it, and their mayor was rebuked in a re-election attempt, even being recalled at the time. Alaska is attempting to repeal it. Areas in Colorado, Vermont, North Carolina, Washington, and of course California, to name a few, are trying to repeal it or already have. It doesn't work. Complexity and voter confusion, increased errors, more expensive by a lot, longer ballot voting times, more opportunity to game the system by ranking against certain candidates, shows an actual disadvantage to minorities and lesser-known candidates. It's not hand recountable or auditable despite the lies. Vote no on ranked choice voting.
Yeah, hello, my name is Robert Hobbs, and I'm here to talk a little bit about ranked choice voting. In 1998, Measure F was approved by the Santa Clara County voters as an instant runoff voting system when technology became available to institute it. In 2023, the California State Legislature passed Assembly Bill 1227, which allows Santa Clara County Board of Supervisors or voters via citizen initiative to adopt ranked choice voting. Has the Board of Supervisors received and reviewed any detailed financial impact report of the cost and the implementation of AB 1227 ranked choice voting for the register of voters? Thank you for your time.
In 1998, Measure F, what voters approved of, was an instant runoff voting, not ranked choice voting. In Dominion ranked choice voting profile, the method setting has 3 options. An instant runoff is just one of 3. The second is single transferable voting, which implements fractional surplus transfer of elected candidates. The third is points instant runoff voting. The declaration of the winner is done based on points, not votes. Does it sound simple to you? Ranked choice voting profile has a total of 14 settings like this, which can generate 276,000 different combinations to count your votes, which also means that there will be 276,000 possible different voting results in one race. Is ranked choice voting manually recountable? Is ROB able to conduct 1% manual recount? That's my question. Instant runoff is not equal to ranked choice voting. Thank you.
Jianfen.
Greetings to all that are present, Board of Supervisors, fellow union members. My name is Lev. I'm here to support the work and the care that the union provides for, for all sorts of members of the community in the Bay Area. And I'd like to just, one note that I like to add, I have really nothing original to say, but just to focus on the positive. Margaret Abe Koga, nice to see you again from Mountain View.
Calling again, Angelina Ailman, Alma Rojas Soto, and then we have additional speakers. We have Mark Trout, Deborah, Sean, here Luigi Oliverio, and Rebecca Arnold. Please go ahead.
Hola, mi nombre es Angelina Olivo Alemán y quiero que ustedes, por favor, miren mi cabeza, está llena de canas, de tanto, pues, por mi edad. Quiero que escuchen a una mamá especial que se está haciendo vieja y también quiero que ustedes, que ese puente que tiene el puente y el sol que está ahí en el escudo del condado de Santa Clara, que sea también para todas las personas que son especiales o que tienen o mayores, porque realmente se me ha pasado a mí la vida buscando servicios y cuando los encuentro es muy difícil de que todos esos servicios que yo busco y que a veces encuentro sean realmente buenos. Sí hay muchos servicios muy buenos, gracias al condado, a toda la gente que los provee, pero los servicios es muy difícil para que uno los agarre. Yo quiero que si por favor le ayuden a las personas especiales y que ese escudo se ponga en todos los centros comerciales.
Okay, we'll have it. Vamos a traducir ahora. We're going to have it translator in Spanish to translate this into English for us. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Angelica Olivo. And I want you to look at my hair, especially my gray hair. And this is because of my age. I'm a mom getting older. And that sign that you have at the back, the bridge and the sun that is also in the Santa Clara County flag, I would like it to be a very special symbol for all of us, especially to elder people or special needs people. It's very difficult to locate different services, good services, and when we are able to find them, it's very difficult to get them. Many people in this county, and because of the county also, are able to give or provide different good services, but not all of us are able to get them. So please, I would like that special bridge and sun to be for everyone. Thank you.
Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Alma Soto. Yo tengo una nena con un síndrome que se llama duplicación 15. Su cromosoma está duplicado, el 15 está duplicado y ella es una niña con músculos flácidos, le dan ataques epilépticos y me están dando muy pocas horas, mi trabajadora. Fui con el doctor, no me ayudó. La niña necesita 24/7 y de verdad que necesito su apoyo porque no puedo trabajar. Mi esposo está sin trabajo ahorita y de verdad que sí lo necesito. Y es por todos los niños que tienen síndrome. Hay veces las mamás no podemos trabajar. Aunque quiera uno trabajar, no se puede. Gracias.
Gracias.
Good morning. My name is Alma Soto. I'm having my daughter is having a syndrome which is called duplication 15. The chromosome number 15 is double in her. She's having weak muscles and she's also suffering from epilepsies. My worker is not able to give me more hours for her. My doctor is not able to help anymore. And I really need your help because we need help 24/7. My husband is unemployed right now, and I really need to find a job. I really need to work for the. I really, as a mom, I really need to work. I really need a job. Thank you.
I would hope that everyone would go to the Dr. Ardis show, ARDIS, the Dr. Ardis show, and scroll down to the antidote. And in this documentary, Dr. Ardis shares with his audience that the CDC has been putting snake venom in the water system since January of 2020, and they were caught by a reporter in October. And they said, oh no, we're just testing it, we're just testing it. And Richard Bartlett, a friend of his, a medical doctor in Texas that healed 100% of his 1,000 patients per month, texted him and said, hey, if you were bitten by a rattlesnake, would you go to ER and get the antidote? And that's what stirred him to study, to research. This guy is brilliant. I mean, he is really sharp, and you need to listen to this. Okay, you should be telling us this. But anyway, the way he healed it was monoclonal antibodies. Another name, anti-venom. That is so powerful.
Good morning, Board of Supervisors and County Executives. My name is Rebecca Arnold. I'm from the Department of Tax and Collections, and I'm here today just to shed some light on some new information that came from our Justice Unit, where 2 of our seniors' codes will be eliminated. While it is true that the Justice Collections accounts are a mere fraction of what it once collected on in the past, the county still owes the taxpayer the responsibility to collect on the thousands of restitution orders in which they have been the victim of crime. In the findings of the Grand Civil Jury and the County of Santa Clara Board Directive, we have been tasked to collect that money to ensure that the victims are made whole. Without those collection officers, victims of crime will now be victimized again. This time, it will be at the hands of the County of Santa Clara. Thank you for hearing me today.
Good morning. County government is facing uncertainty through January 2029. Counties are not used to variable revenue, and 1990 spreadsheet technology is unable to manage such complexity. However, corporations have always had to deal with variable revenue, and they moved away from spreadsheets and ERP long ago and use software to model what-if scenarios. Without a change, this board will be forced to make politically painful decisions where you simply do not have the time to consider other options to ensure equity and employee retention when reducing services. Since spreadsheets are slow, fallible, and promote the loss of institutional knowledge as attrition occurs. You need not look far for answers. Have your staff ask how Adobe, Cisco, eBay, HP, Zoom, NVIDIA, OpenAI, Microsoft, how they model. In a perfect world, the county would have started modern-day modeling the day after the election. We don't have time. This is not about the budget. This is about every day of the year, every executive order, every federal policy, every department memo, every reimbursement.
Thank you.
Last call for Deborah.
Hi. We appreciate very much the advocates that the county has done so much to save people's lives with passing out survival gear and things like that. There would be so many more dead people if it wasn't for you guys doing that. And I mean that from my heart. We appreciate that you don't support sweeps. We appreciate that that you have done more to understand that we need more for mental illness and domestic violence. We also need a domestic violence shelter that people can go to take their pets. You don't have that. But that you understand where homelessness and domestic violence and mental illness and all those things go together, and you're trying to make that all better. I plead with you to take an action and speak out against this new abusive jailing of homeless people that our mayor wants to do. So please take public action and speak out against that, because it's an unfunded mandate. He wants to make a public decision over there with your money, which is our money.
All right, our last speaker was Deborah, who I do not see in chambers.
She said ditto what I said.
We will move on to Zoom speakers. Our first speaker is Brian. Please accept the unmute. Brian, please go ahead.
I'm here. Hello?
Please go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. My name is Brian Bertesini. I'm a resident of Santa Clara County. I'm here again to demand Supervisor Lee hold honest discussions regarding ranked choice voting and not to align himself with paid lobbyists like the folks at California Ranked Choice Voting. They are spreading misinformation on the benefits of ranked choice voting. I have taken time to review the Alameda County Statement of Vote for the 2024 general election, something that our case commission has refused to do. If you look at the numbers and you compare traditional way of voting to ranked choice voting, you will find the error rates for ranked choice voting are 10 times higher, in some cases 100 times higher than what it is for our traditional method of voting. I requested that you investigate this method more closely before making a decision, which would have potential detrimental impact to this county. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Liz Stewart. Please accept the unmute.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Thank you. I'm alarmed by Matt Mahan's disturbing proposal to arrest homeless people who refuse shelter 3 times. What misguided idea is this? I know he wants to look tough on homelessness for his political career, but at what cost to our friends on the street? When they refuse shelter, it's usually because it will separate them from their belongings, their pets, their families, their communities, and their jobs. Throwing them in jail wastes the time of our police department, who's already stretched thin dealing with real crimes. What good is this? It's terrible. Instead of paying overworked police to cause misery to homeless, let's focus on beds. We've really appreciated the way the Board of Supervisors has focused on housing. Because the Board of Supervisors knows what the mayor does not, that the problem is not homeless people, it's a shortage of housing. Please continue to focus on building housing, and please speak out against Mayor Matt Mahan's disturbing proposal to basically criminalize poverty. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Raymond Goins or Goins. Please accept the unmute. Raymond, can you accept the unmute, please? One more try for Raymond. And we will go on to Deborah Townley. Please accept the unmute. Deborah Townley, are you there?
Yes.
Please.
Hi, I'm asking that the county speak out against the abusive, victim-blaming, unfunded mandate San Jose's mayor is trying to pass by jailing unhoused people. Excuse me. This is a city proposal that intends to use county funds to jail unhoused people. This seems in direct opposition to the county's stance against sweeps, since people will be swept into county jails. We encourage you to say no to victim blaming and unfunded mandates, and yes to real solutions like increased permanent supportive housing. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes public comment.
Thank you, Curtis. Moving to item number 7, which is approval of the consent calendar and changes to our board agenda today. Could you please go ahead and read the proposed changes to our consent calendar, Curtis? Thank you.
Absolutely. We have a correction to item number 33. Possible action B should read as follows. Approve county sponsorship of Milpitas Community Educational Endowment Incorporated in the amount of $500 from the Supervisorial District 3 allocation in the Office of the Clerk of the Board fiscal year 2024-2025 budget to support the 11th annual Milpitas Unified School District STEAM Showcase. We have a request from Supervisors Ellenberg and Abe Koga to remove item number 42 from the consent calendar. Item number 42 is to consider recommendations relating to the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget process. We have a request from President Lee to remove item number 43 from the consent calendar. Item number 43 is to receive report relating to county fuel cell generators. We have a request from President Lee to remove item number 51 from the consent calendar and a correction to item number 51. Item number 51 is to consider recommendations relating to housing services at 10 Kirk Avenue. The correction, possible action B, should conclude with the following. Delegation of authority shall expire on June 30, 2025. A sole source exception to competitive procurement has been approved by the Office of Countywide Contracting Management pursuant to Board of Supervisors Policy 5.6.5.1 D2A. We have a request from administration to hold item number 66 to March 25th, 2025. Item number 66 is adoption of ordinance number NS-1015.69, amending sections B12-31, B12-32, B12-33, B12-34, B12-35, B12-36, B12-37, B12-38, and B12-39 of Article 2 of Chapter 2 of Division B12 of the County of Santa Clara Ordinance Code to repeal and readopt certain speed limits on county roads and expressways. And that concludes my list.
Thank you, Curtis. Yes, Supervisor Wikoga first.
Thank you. Thank you, President Lee. I don't intend to pull item 50, but wanted to make a comment on it, if that's
Please,
all right.
proceed.
I just wanted to note my strongest support for the increasing the number of safe parking spots at the Move Mountain View location in Palo Alto from 28 to 38 spaces. I believe safe parking is a part of the multi-pronged approach to our housing crisis and should be pursued where possible. I'm very pleased and happy to see that Palo Alto is expanding its program as Mountain View has done over several years. I was supportive on the council when we opened Move Mountain View. Our location, we have actually several locations in Mountain View, and it has been successful and a welcome addition to our community. And I hope that we will see more of these programs in our county. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. The second line I saw actually was Supervisor Ellenberg. Go ahead.
Thank you. I want to make brief comments on two items. First, on item 17. We're leveraging a new Family First Prevention Service dollars for our Parent-Child Plus programs, and I want to thank and acknowledge First Five Santa Clara County and our administration for coming to this agreement. I want to thank as well our community-based partners who facilitate the Parent-Child Plus program. This funding is going to benefit 180 new families, and I just want to welcome this first step in expanding home visitation in our county, and I look forward to seeing what other non-general fund resources can be leveraged for this work. Second, also want to highlight item 34, which is my office's sponsorship of the upcoming Black Maternal Health Week screening event that's being held in partnership with the county's Office for Health Equity and Improvement and the Valley Health Foundation. It's going to be on April 17th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. here at 70 West Heading in the Isaac Newton Auditorium. The event will feature a screening of the documentary Black Motherhood Through the Lens, followed by a panel discussion with medical experts from local hospital systems across the county. The event will highlight the tremendous work of our public health department and Santa Clara Valley Healthcare that is done on a daily basis, working to end the maternal and infant health disparities that women of African ancestry continue to face. Thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Young.
Thank you. I wanted to acknowledge item 19, agreement with First Five Santa Clara County for place-based resource centers. This is an incredible asset to our most vulnerable communities. I was at the grand opening of our newest resource center at Hubbard Elementary School a few weeks ago. And with that, my only request for this item is that moving forward, that we include locations of our place-based investments. I know the ledge file itself lists as our partner organizations, but not necessarily the locations of these place-based resource centers. And for item 23, that's an agreement for mobile oral health services for veterans. Want to call this item out to thank our staff for bringing this item forward. My office had received some constituent concerns that dental services for veterans were possibly ending, and no, that was, I don't want to put that out there. We received those concerns, and I want to state for the record that this agreement right here is it's contrary to that. If anything, we're continuing our agreements, and we will continue to provide dental services for our seniors. And lastly, I want to give a shout out to our staff on item 62, the general annual planning progress report. We issued 84 first-time home buyer loans since December 31st, 2024. The county provided home repairs and maintenance services to 36 households. The Good Food Purchasing Program has been implemented in all 3 county hospitals, continued for implementation. And our pediatricians were given free park passes to give out to patient families. That's just a quarter of the list of accomplishments and highlights that I'm listing off here for item 62. And I really would love to see our county's communications brag more about the incredible things that we do for our families and our communities. So thank you to our staff, and I look forward to bragging on your behalf. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Vice President Arenas, please.
Thank you. On item 20, I wanted to ask about, and this is the item to amend the adult education and community colleges relating to providing CalWorks for adult education services. And it has a list of 10 colleges that we are going to have agreements with, but it doesn't state the amounts. Is there, and doesn't have it on the memo, how can we receive those amounts per college?
Yes, James, go ahead.
We could provide that information off agenda if you'd like.
That would be wonderful. And then item 23, I wanted to ask about, this is, and while I applaud the additional services for veterans, especially on dental services, as we know those are very difficult to secure. And I'm wondering, is that the reason why it's a single source justification?
I don't know the specific reason this contract was a single source justification, but we can provide that information either off agenda, or we can pull the item and probably get you that information by the end of the meeting.
That would be wonderful.
Okay.
I'll wait until the end of the meeting. Thank you so much.
So we are also pulling item 23 off the consent. And actually, would like to speak on that, but I'll speak on that when that item comes back later. Okay? All right. Let me go and open up the public speakers. Anybody would like to speak on the consent calendar? Curtis?
Looks like I have one hand raised on Zoom.
One? Okay,
Seems
2
to be
minutes.
one speaker on
Yeah,
Zoom.
one speaker. Let's close the queue, 2 minutes.
All right, our speaker on Zoom is iPhone.
Yes, hello, good morning. I'd like to speak on item 17B. While I have no doubt that $5.5 million more than $5.5 million can help many people, I don't trust Daniel Little and Wendy Kinnear Roush and also Sarah Duffy to disperse these funds efficiently. I think what we need to do is hold this item for another date and first have a robust discussion about having these 3 continue in DFCS and in social services as leadership. There's so many calls for their removal from the San Jose Mercury News editorial board to Pa Ching and many other social workers, to the family of baby Phoenix and many other parents who've been neglected by the county. I mean, my own kids are being sexually molested, and I can't get the county to provide even a screening, just a screening. My son, he's already confirmed being raped beginning at the age of 13. I'm not asking you guys to comment on anything. I'm just asking for some sort of robust discussion on these people. That they should not continue. I mean, their whole function is to protect children, or a big part of it. I mean, the most important part of it. And I think that James Williams, people are asking him to do something. Nobody's doing anything, and I hope we can remove them very, very soon. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. That concludes public comment.
Thank you. Yes, Vice President Arenas?
Thank you. I also wanted to, excuse me. I also wanted to ask about an item, and now I've lost it. And this is for item 16, to hold item 16, the meetings from the last, the meeting minutes from the last meeting.
Okay, yeah. Want to go ahead and hold item 16 for the next meeting?
And put it on hold if you could.
Sure.
And then lastly, I wanted to just thank administration, thank staff. There's a item on, there's some action on item 44, which is recommending to grant water utility franchise to California American Water Company. And this was now approved to have a transition from the West San Martin Waterworks, which was family-owned and operated, but unfortunately, the family has is not able to continue, and so I'm really grateful that we're able to have a smooth transition and hopefully provide more information to San Martin residents as we move through this. Thank you.
Okay. And I do have one comment on item 59J regarding the drawing proclamation that we have with Supervisor Ellenberg declaring March 31st Transgender Day of Visibility in Santa Clara County. Since 2009, the Transgender Day of Visibility has been an organized action to build and show support for one of the most targeted and marginalized communities. And it's also to celebrate stories, achievement, and transgender joy. At a time when the federal politicians and other states seek to erode fundamental human rights, here in Santa Clara County, we continue a long history of opposing discrimination and hate. We extend our unwavering support to community members who identify as transgender, non-binary, or gender expansive, and we're grateful to the team at the County Office of LGBTQ+ Affairs for the work they are doing locally to support our community. And we honor and recognize the strength and perseverance of all individuals who fight daily to live authentically, live boldly, and inspire positive change within our society. And recognize trailblazers like Sylvia Rivera, Renee Richards, Rachel Levine, Rachel Crandall Crocker. And I'm proud to be an ally of the transgender community and hope you will join us on the March 24th at 11:30 right here in the county for the presentation of this proclamation and to celebrate Transgender Day of Visibility. Thank you. And can I have a motion to approve the consent calendar and updates noted by the board?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Renes.
Second, Abekoga.
Second. All right. No further comments? Let's take a roll.
Supervisor Abekoga.
Aye.
Supervisor Young.
Yes.
Supervisor Ellenberg.
Yes.
Vice President Arenas.
Yes.
President Lee.
Aye as well. Thank you.
Carries with 5.
All right, moving to item number 8, which is a public hearing on the local housing allocation plan. We will first have our staff present the report, and then I will open the public hearing. And the item's open for questions from board members thereafter, hearing the public comment, and then closing the public hearing. And then finally, entertaining a motion. I'd like to welcome KJ Kaminsky and Natalie Monk from our Office of Supportive Housing. Good morning.
Good morning, President Lee, members of the board. KJ Kaminsky, Acting Director for the Office of Supportive Housing, and I'm joined by Natalie Monk, our Housing and Community Development Division Manager. And Natalie will give a brief overview of the proposed amendment to the PLHA plan.
Thank you, KJ. The county manages PLHA funding for the urban county and on behalf of the cities of Cupertino, Gilroy, and Santa Clara through the county's PLHA consortium. The recommended action would reallocate funds within the county's approximately $5.2 million fiscal year 26 to 28 PLHA consortium budget. There are two recommended funding changes to the consortium budget. Administration has continued to work closely with the consortium cities to strategically use PLHA, and the first proposed change is to move approximately $1.3 million in funds programmed for Activity 6, homelessness, to Activity 1, rental housing. Since the previous amendment to the consortium plan last year, administration and our partner cities have identified pre-development and development funding for new affordable and supportive housing projects as a key need, which reflects the current highly competitive financing climate. The second change is to move approximately $950,000 in funding from Activity 6, homelessness, to Activity 9, homeownership. This change is required by the state. The Health and Safety Code requires that 20% of PLHA funds statewide be spent on homeownership, and as a result, the state is now adding homeownership requirements to all amendments in the current plan period and on future plan cycles. That concludes our report. Happy to take questions.
Thank you. All right, so let me go ahead and now open up the public hearing. Okay, so let's see, any questions from the board members? Nope, okay, I don't see any lights. So let's see, on the public, anybody on the public would like to speak on this item?
I currently have one card in chambers. Looks like no hands on Zoom, so we have one speaker.
All right, 2 minutes, please, for the public hearing.
All right, Sean?
You'll be shocked to know that I oppose taking any money out of funding for homelessness. And actually, the biggest reason is because we know that the numbers are going to rise. We know the numbers are going to rise because pushing everybody out of the creeks. We know the numbers are going to rise because of all the actions of the executive branch. We know the numbers are going to rise because Mahan announced today that he's going to go after van lords. So if you're going to take away the vans from these van lords, the people who live in them, who are largely families, are going to have no place to go. So if we take money out of homelessness, what are we going to do with the homeless? So I just think that we need all the money we can to stay in homelessness because of all these reasons that we know we expect them to rise. And one of the largest, fastest growing groups are senior citizens, and I don't see anything being done to address senior citizens. There's no special shelter for them, there's no special housing, there's no nothing. And 60% of the 202 people who died on the streets last year were unhoused people, according to my tombstones, according to my count, according to the coroner's dashboard. Everything that the mayor's doing is making things worse, and you guys know that. And so I don't want you guys to make things worse by taking the money away as well. We can't make things twice as worse. You guys, unfortunately, to me, have to balance all his stupid decisions. I mean, that's just the truth. So if you guys can keep the money in homelessness to balance things out for everything that he's doing against homeless people and victimizing the homeless, then you guys can be the safe landing to have the money to help with the housing them, but through getting them out of homelessness, having the programs, having the supplies we need, but don't take money out of homeless programs.
We did have, oh, never mind. That concludes public comment.
Okay, good. I'll go ahead and close the public hearing at this point. And actually, I do have questions, KJ. When reading this report, it talks about moving fund from homelessness to building some longer-term housing, and I think we have always been working on the issue of that. Having permanent supportive housing is, of course, the holy grail. We want to get there. But of course, with the latest issues that we have of the need of interim and rapid rehousing, for example, how does this potentially affect? I know this money is not being allocated yet, but that certainly there's, as we have heard from many speakers in the press, that there's a huge move from the city of San Jose, for example, trying to expedite the issue of clearing the streets and potentially arresting people, and which are very concerning to all of us here of this move. So I'm just trying to think of what are we doing here in terms of this funding? Is this something that we could actually use some of this funding to help on rapid housing, on the interim housing side, versus moving it to the long-term housing? Now, you also mentioned there's a requirement that there's a portion has to move into home ownership, right? That was like a certain amount. So I understand if the state requires to do that, that's fine. But the part that is not required, how can we make sure that we are not hurting the left hand when we're trying to do the right hand, for example?
Thank you for the question, President Lee. As you're aware, I think with all of our state and federal funding sources, we're looking at a balanced approach of investing from all of the solutions, from affordable housing, permanent supportive housing development, all the way to shelter and safe parking. This allocation reflects that balance of priorities, with a large portion remaining in homeless services, but we do have an opportunity to invest in affordable housing development with our partner cities that are in the PLHA consortium. I just want to note that these decisions are not made in isolation. We work with the other cities in the consortium who have identified these priorities as well. So the requested or the recommended adjustment does not impact current programming. So I want to note that it's not taking from any existing services, homeless services that are currently being funded. And then I would also note that, we know with our services providing support to people who are unhoused, most folks do need access to affordable housing development, affordable housing units, subsidies, and that's why we feel that it's very important to continue to make sure our affordable housing pipeline continues. The recommended action reflects that investment in our affordable housing pipeline.
Okay, I see some lights here. Yes, Supervisor Ellenberg.
Thank you very much. I want to express really tremendous appreciation for this balance. I think there is such a risk in leaning too hard into immediate and interim, I won't even call them solutions. They're not solutions to homelessness. They're solutions to being unsheltered. But with no throughput and no focus on getting people out of those shelters and those temporary places, what we're going to end up doing is having a system that is stagnated, that hasn't actually addressed homelessness. And what I hear too often and want to just clarify is that our homeless count and homeless population is made up both of people who are sheltered and unsheltered. And if we are only addressing that unsheltered piece, we truly haven't solved for homelessness. What we've done is kind of create a shiny veneer for a year or two. And our county has shown, primarily through Measure A, that affordable housing is possible, that it doesn't take eons of time. We know that since Measure A was passed in 2016, we have completed, and you can help me with the statistics, 56 projects, more than 5,000 units. We've housed 17,000 people. This is what works, and this is what is sustainable, and this is what has a return on investment. I agree that there are immediate needs, and we want to take people out of unsafe, unsanitary environments, but that has to be only a small piece from a funding perspective. Again, because it isn't a long-term solution, and it isn't sustainable, and it isn't ultimately affordable. There's an attraction, I think, that the upfront costs, the upfront capital costs, are significantly less, of course, than affordable housing, but the operating costs that potentially have no end if there's no throughput to permanent housing are exorbitant. And without vouchers and without other investments, there's no return there. So while we absolutely need to provide that immediate and short-term help, it is a dangerous path if it's the only one we're going down. And when Supervisor Chavez was on the board, I never missed an opportunity to thank her for her leadership on Measure A, and my new colleague, Supervisor Young, led that campaign. So your leadership there was tremendous too. We have a proof case. We know what works. We should not be going backwards to systems that had failed. I wish we had more money right now for affordable housing and for permanent supportive housing. We need an increase in the supply overall, and we have to make sure that we are solving for the right problems with the right solutions. So all of that is mostly a big giant thank you, but I feel that we have to keep sort of explaining the strategy as well.
Yes, Supervisor Abikoga.
Thank you, President Lee. Yes, I appreciate Supervisor Ellenberg's comments. And so the tricky part is, there's just, as we all know, there's just not enough funding to go around. I think so with what we have to be strategic and use the funding where we can even leverage it as well as we can. And so I appreciate staff bringing this forward. I think this approach does that. And from what I read, it's not taking away funding from homeless services. The funding wasn't programmed yet there, and there are some challenges with the requirements with the funding. But it looks like the funding would go to pre-development work for 2 projects, is that right? Have those projects been identified?
Thank you for the question, Supervisor. We do have 2 projects identified. One has been named by the City of Cupertino. It's on Mary Avenue. Okay, and the other one is in the urban county, and it's undergoing underwriting currently.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's my question.
I see no further questions. Okay, I entertain a motion?
Happy to make a motion to approve staff recommendation.
Happy to second.
Motion by Abikoga, seconded by Ellenberg. Any further comments? Okay, not go ahead and please vote.
Supervisor Abikoga.
Aye.
Supervisor Young.
Yes.
Supervisor Ellenberg.
Yes.
Vice President Arenas.
Yes.
President Lee.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, moving to item number 9.
Good morning, President Lee, members of the board. Just a few items I wanted to update the board on in the county executive's report today. One is an update regarding Regional Medical Center. We continue to be on track for assuming operations at Regional as a Level 2 trauma center on April 1st. Well over 1,000 RMC employees have accepted job offers, and nearly all of those individuals have also submitted for their benefit packages. We are still working with the state to obtain licensure approvals. We're not aware of any particular concern in that vein, but of course we actually do need those in hand before April 1 in order to be able to operate RMC. Just want to again extend extraordinary appreciation to all of our staff and teams at ESA, TSS, Procurement, County Council, and obviously across the health system for their work now and all the way through and beyond April 1 to make sure this transition moves forward smoothly. There is a special election, City of San Jose City Council District 3, coming up on April 8th. The Registrar of Voters has mailed ballots out to all 47,000 active registered voters in that district. Early in-person voting is available at the ROV office at Burger Drive, and 6 ballot drop box locations are open for secure 24-hour ballot drop-offs. Beginning Saturday, March 29th, 2 vote centers will be open in the district, and an additional vote center will open starting 4 days before Election Day. The deadline to register to vote and receive a mailed ballot is Monday, March 24th, and voters can still register and vote through a conditional voter registration process all the way through Election Day. Finally, I wanted to provide a brief update on the federal budget situation. Our intergovernmental relations team, along with President Lee and Supervisor Ellenberg, were in Washington, D.C. for the National Association of Counties Conference last week. The most significant current update is related to the current federal funding picture. The current appropriations for the federal government expire on March 14th. The House Republicans are attempting to move forward a stopgap extension of spending largely at the current spending levels through the end of the current federal fiscal year, which ends September 30th. Federal fiscal year runs from October 1 through September 30th of each year. They have very thin margins, of course, to get that through, but that's the process that they're working on now, trying to round up the votes, and then, of course, that has to go through the Senate. The work on the reconciliation bill, which was the subject of considerable discussion at our last board meeting, was still underway, and the committees that have been charged with achieving those top-line numbers are just beginning their work. So that process is moving slower, and that's in part why they're attempting to fund the federal government at current levels through the end of the fiscal year. They technically have, if they want to avoid a lapse associated with the Trump tax cuts, they theoretically have until December 31 to complete the reconciliation process. So these two things are related but separate and moving in tandem. That concludes my report this morning. We're, of course, going to keep a close eye on everything related to federal budget and spending.
Thank you, James. See no questions from the dais. How about you, Tony? Go ahead.
At the March 10th, 2025 closed session meeting, by unanimous vote with all members present, the board authorized the county to initiate litigation, intervene in litigation, or participate as amicus curiae in two matters. The names of the actions and the parties, as well as the substance of the litigation, shall be disclosed once litigation is formally commenced to any person upon inquiry. Also at the March 10th, 2025 closed session, by unanimous vote with all members present, the board authorized the county to initiate litigation in one matter. The names of the action and the defendants, as well as the substance of the litigation, shall be disclosed once litigation is formally commenced to any person upon inquiry. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Tony. All right, no further comments. Let's move on item number 11, which is recommendations related to the use of automated license plate readers in the city of Cupertino. And to present, we have a representative from our sheriff's office. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now we can hear you. Great, perfect. Good morning.
My name is Captain Jason Brown with the Sheriff's Office, here today to discuss the Sheriff's Office potential use of automated license plate readers within the city of Cupertino. If needed, I do have a short presentation. However, if not, we can
Yeah, I think we could just go with the questions from the group. Yeah. So actually, before I start, do we have any public would like to make a comment on this?
I have no cards in chambers. For the public who are on Zoom, now is the time to raise your hand. I don't currently have anybody. Give them just a moment.
Give it 3, 2, 1.
All right, we have no public comment.
All right, I'll close the queue from any more public speakers. Any of my colleagues here have any comments or ready for a vote? Yes, go ahead, Supervisor Arvicoga.
Thank you, President Lee, and thank you so much for bringing this forward. Just last year, as I was leaving my Mountain View Council, I learned we were the second to last city to bring in the license readers, and was a little shocked that because we're usually ahead of the curve on most things, but there's been a lot of good data that's come forward with the success of the readers. Many of the cities in my, well, all of the cities in my District 5 will now have it with Cupertino being the last one. And there's a lot of value to having the entire county have these readers, and the police departments and the sheriff's office being able to work in coordination. And there's been a high success rate so far. And so I'm very happy to move this item. Thank you.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second. Arenas.
Okay, seconded by Vice President Arenas, and I see Supervisor Ellenberg, your light's on. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I have, in the past and with reservation, voted yes on the use policies for license plate scanners when they're intended for use in our incorporated contract cities. My colleagues and I, though, have been were made aware in the last annual surveillance use report that there had been numerous violations of the surveillance use policy for license plate scanners. The violations were remediated, but it gives me increasing pause with the expanded use of those readers. So I'm going to abstain today. These are, just to be clear, these are license plate scanners that have been requested and funded by the city of Cupertino and will be operated by the sheriff as part of their contract for services with the city. The sheriff's office does not currently have approval from the board for the use of scanners within any unincorporated county, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. So I'm going to abstain due to increasing concerns about misuse.
Okay, see no further comments. Curtis, take the vote.
Actually.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vice President
That's
Arenas,
okay.
sorry.
I'm wondering, Supervisor Ellenberger, if there's anything that you would want to include in this motion to bring back any specific violations to this particular contract, or just are you okay waiting for the next annual surveillance program update?
I'm okay waiting for the next annual surveillance update.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you for checking.
Curtis, let's take the vote.
Okay. Supervisor Abakoga?
Aye.
Supervisor Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Ellenberg?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Abstain.
Vice President Arenas?
Yes.
President Lee?
Aye as well.
Motion carries with 4.
All right, moving to item number 12, which is relating to the garbage recycling and organic franchise agreements transition activities. And to present this item, we believe we have our Director of Consumer Environmental Protection Agency, Edgar Nolasco, and your team.
Good morning. President Lee, members of the board, just let us set up momentarily.
Sure. We're moving very quickly this morning, so good morning. Bless you.
All right. Good morning, President Lee, members of the board.
Morning.
Edgar Nolasco, your Director for the Consumer Environmental Protection Agency. I have the pleasure of introducing item 12. This is our first transition update of the 2025 Garbage and Recycling Organics franchise. Sitting with me is Vanessa Marcadeas, Program Manager 2, Michelle Young, Senior Management Analyst, and also in chambers are members of Green Waste and Green Team to answer any questions you may have. Since the Board of Supervisor approval of January 14th, we have been hard at work ensuring that we have a smooth transition as we embark on this 10-year franchise agreement. And we have a short presentation to give you an update, and I'll have my Ms. Marcadeas start the presentation.
Good morning, Board of Supervisors. Today's staff has prepared a presentation to share transition activity updates related to the county's new solid waste franchise agreements for unincorporated Santa Clara County. The new agreements are set to begin on July 1st of this year. Oh, one moment. Looks like we're almost there. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. We're good to go.
Yes, go ahead, please proceed.
All right, so staff last went to the board on January 14th. Next slide, please. Staff last went to the board on January 14th, where the board adopted resolutions establishing schedules of maximum rates charged by Green Team and Green Waste in their proposed service districts, and also approved franchise agreements with Green Team for collection services in District West and Green Waste for collection services in District East and South, both of which will run from July 1st of this year through June 2035. During that time, the board also requested that staff return in March, April, and May to provide ongoing updates on the status of service transition planning, which include the following listed here. For outreach and education, all outreach delivered through direct mail will occur and is anticipated in May and in June. Staff will be making key outreach materials in multilingual languages, Spanish and Vietnamese, and others will also be supported. These include key outreach materials for service, hauler, and day changes if applicable, updated recycling guides, rate notification, and scripts for customer service calls. In addition, both county and hauler websites will be updated, along with customer service scripts in preparation for taking any incoming questions. This is an initial summary timeline of key transition outreach and education deliverables set to take place by June 1st in preparation for the new service start date in July. A couple examples include when direct mail notices, updated recycling guides for customers, and website updates will take place. Also included is the estimated time frame in which staff will coordinate with board offices on outreach pieces that have been approved by county staff and ready for distribution by the haulers. In addition, staff has been discussing other ways in which we could work with board offices, including adding board staff to mailing lists for haulers to receive mailings as the customers receive them, and providing ongoing communications while we collaborate. On January 14th, the board also requested that staff coordinate with the County Social Services Agency to explore potential opportunities for targeted low-income rate outreach to unincorporated clients receiving SSA benefits. While the county's past and current franchise agreements and haulers include low-income rate outreach several times a year, this will be the first time we explore this pathway. SEBA staff are currently coordinating with SSA on obtaining this data to support this effort. And to qualify for low-income garbage rates, the following requirements must be met. At a baseline, they must demonstrate qualification for PG&E's California Alternative Rates for Energy Care program, meet qualifying garbage service levels, they must be the head of household, and there should be no billing delinquencies on their account. For vehicle and equipment updates in District West, Green Team will be using existing vehicles until they reach the maximum 10-year age limit. The fleet will continue to include special Mini-Max trucks that are needed for hard-to-serve areas. In addition, new Mini-Max trucks have been ordered to replace trucks that age out. For District South, Green Waste will be using existing vehicles until they age out as well. And for District East, new trucks are currently being built with delivery by mid-June. For staffing updates, we're happy to report that Green Team is close to hiring the new outreach coordinator that will be dedicated to District West customers. Once onboarded, the coordinator will join monthly outreach meetings in April between county staff and haulers. For District East, Recology, the current hauler until July, has confirmed that they will retain all 5 current District East drivers, so there will be no displaced workers. Green Waste has confirmed that they will be moving existing senior drivers from their own staff to cover District East, And I want to note that Green Waste was the previous hauler servicing District East before Ecology, so they are familiar with the service district. For route review and technology enhancements, both Green Team and Green Waste route supervisors are currently analyzing data for route efficiencies in preparation for July. For example, in District West, which is a hard-to-service area, sometimes it would take drivers 10 to 12 hours to complete routes, and that will be optimized to 7 to 8 hour route days, which will minimize any servicing errors or any issues. County facilitated implementation includes county staff leading regular meetings with haulers. We're currently in this process right now. This includes monthly transition operations meetings. We're discussing routes, vehicles, staffing, and other milestones. In addition, we have separate bi-monthly transition outreach meetings. For next steps, staff will return to the board in another report out on April 22nd with the same material. In addition, coming back in May, we'll be covering outreach and education, how our low-income rate outreach coordination is going, more updates on vehicles and equipment, updates to route review, technology enhancements, and what potential day changes could look like, additional staffing updates, and ongoing meetings with haulers. This concludes staff's presentation, and we welcome any questions from the board.
Thank you for the presentation. We'll go to Curtis for public comment.
I do not have any cards in chambers for this item. If we have attendees on Zoom who wish to address the board, now's the time to raise your hand. I have no requests to speak on Zoom either.
All right, go ahead and close the queue for any more speakers. Any of my colleagues have any questions? Oh, yes, Supervisor Young, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you to staff for this presentation. I know you're hard at work. This is a huge transition. I'm, of course, anxiously monitoring, awaiting all the report outs because District East, my district, will have a completely new service provider. About the staffing, I saw from the presentation and from my conversations with your office, is that Green Waste is not bringing over the existing drivers from Ecology. They're keeping the drivers. That's 5 drivers, right? That's not transitioning over?
That is correct. Supervisor. Ecology kept their drivers.
So for those 5 drivers, does Green Waste have drivers ready to fill those roles, or is there a recruitment that has to happen?
My understanding is they're shifting other drivers within Green Waste to cover those areas, as Ms. Marcaday has mentioned, that Green Waste used to service that area, so they are shifting senior drivers into those and will hire as needed, but they're anticipating to have a smooth transition starting July 1st.
Thank you. That was my concern, that we have enough time to hire new drivers and get them through the transition process. So I appreciate that. Thank you. And then, the qualifications and for the PG&E Care program and the low-income rate outreach. So my issue is this, that until I had a briefing with you and your team, I didn't know that, using I statements, that being a county client, being a CalFresh recipient or CalWorks client was enough to qualify for these programs. Unfortunately, the CARE program doesn't always have a lot of faith in the public, and folks may be intimidated or just not interested in applying, thinking that, I don't qualify because I may be low income for this region and this area of high cost living, but maybe not for these bigger programs. So really the desired outcome for me is that we have affirmative communication, not passive. So I don't want it to be something that we hope people will by chance see in their mail, see in their email inbox, but would love at the next update to have your thoughts, your planning around what affirmative notification can look like out of your partnership with SSA. And I see our DEBS director here. Thank you for being here. And just to make sure that folks know that they can qualify for a reduced rate, especially in District East. And I know I've sent this question before, but how many customers in District East are part of the low-income program right now?
Supervisor Young, in District East, there is 189 customers that are within the low-income program.
Okay. Thank you. And so we'll use it as a benchmark to see if we have increased enrollment into this program. The requirements to qualify for the low-income rate program, head of household, can you define that for me?
The head of household would be the individual who has the account holder on the garbage side.
So the person who's just on the billing?
Correct.
And that could be mom, that could be dad, that could be, right, but that person is enrolled in a program that qualifies, or they themselves qualify
Correct.
for the
So
low-income rate program.
Two mechanisms. Well, there's one mechanism, you're receiving public benefits to qualify for the CARE program. There's also an income side. So SEPA and SSA have been working closely together, and we have been doing GIS mapping on all of the clients that are receiving these benefits within the CARE program that live in the unincorporated, and we will be doing targeted outreach. We're about to embark on us receiving the data, and we'll be analyzing that to see how do we best do the outreach to those folks. Also, myself and the SEPA team will be doing presentations at the Safety Net meeting to inform all of our nonprofits and COBs of this great opportunity for our unincorporated residents to, if they are receiving these benefits, they can also receive low-income garbage rates.
I appreciate that. Thank you. So let's look forward to seeing you at the next April update. Would love to include a status update of our affirmative notification plan in process. Thank you. Oh, and my question about the head of household, I know you're working with the language access unit, and also with SSA. I think sometimes things get lost in translation, right? There's a lot of cultural nuances around terms like that, where, in my household, Dad looked like he was in charge, and on all the paperwork, but Mom was really in charge. And just letting folks know that it's really, we're looking for the person that is on the bill of record. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Vice President Arenas?
Thank you. I know that you've already given my staff, my team, some feedback about the difference in the timelines for the outreach in Table 1 and Table 2. But I just wanted you to share a little bit about how those dates are going to be refined. You touched on it a bit in your presentation.
Thank you for the question, Supervisor. I have my colleague, Ms. Marcadeas, answer your question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle Young with SEPA. So thank you for that question about timeline. We are going to have a rollout of a variety of outreach pieces, actually starting now in our incumbent districts where they're already looking at route enhancements with the customers that will be maintaining the same hauler. So we are working actively with the two haulers on biweekly outreach meetings to develop an outreach timeline. So that was their first deliverable from the first meeting, is to talk about all the requirements and how they can be either bundled or sent separately. And so we are waiting to refine that timeline with them. So materials will be going out primarily in May and June. And some, Supervisor Drong, in your area, will actually go out in July when the new hauler is in. So they'll be promoting low income at that time once they already have the customers in the billing system. Because if they talk to them about it in June, they can't make the change yet. So there will be a whole timeline that will reflect the variety of different outreach pieces that we're covering. That includes who's your hauler and what are your services that are coming at. It will include new and updated recycling guides. It will include the rate information, which will definitely go in mid-June to avoid any confusion with current billing, and things like that. So there may be several mailouts, and in the April update, we'll be able to bring you a more detailed outline that reflects our coordination with the haulers.
And you said, when will you be bringing that update?
In our April update to the board?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be able to provide a more detailed timeline based on our meetings.
Okay, thank
that
you.
are ongoing with the haulers.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that, that our outreach materials, and it sounds like, I think Green Waste, you said earlier, is in the middle of securing their outreach specialist or their whomever they are going to hire. And I want to make sure that whatever materials they develop, that we are able to use them in time, so that people get used to any changes that they may happen.
Absolutely, and to clarify on the new outreach coordinator that will be coming into the Green Team territory, both of the haulers have full outreach and customer service staff that are already working with our team. The new customer outreach coordinator will be an additional staff member. So we're already working with specialized staff on outreach and customer service at this point.
And I'm sorry, I didn't catch the Green Waste. What is the update for the outreach person for Green Waste?
So for,
We have a slide on that. We're going to go back to,
Oh, I love it. While you find this slide, I do have something else, and we've talked about this at a committee, at CSFC committee, in terms of reaching out to SSA beneficiaries, and I appreciate the questions that Supervisor Young, you were making earlier. I want to ask to see if we can make sure we cover all of the districts, and treat this kind of like a pilot, because if all of the folks who are SSA beneficiaries who happen to be on the same bill, or if they are not, I think those outreach materials would be really important to include that. If you are not named on the bill but are an SSA beneficiary and you would like to take advantage of a reduced rate because of this criteria, that we let them know in time, because I think a lot of families would switch, right? They would just switch. Sometimes it's an easy switch, easy thing to do, and not find themselves, well, I'm not the head of a household, or I'm not named on this bill, so just like throw that option out the window, because I think it makes a difference when there's less income coming in to just reduce the cost that you have in the household. I'm going to ask, I'm not sure who made has anybody made a motion?
No, not
Right.
yet.
So I'm going to make a motion to accept the report, and then to ask for a quarterly update to CSFC regarding the outreach to SSA beneficiaries about the lower rates that they can receive for these services due to either being an SSA beneficiary or being a PG&E care, eligible recipient. And like I said, I think it's really important for us to figure this piece out, because if we're successful and a lot of the majority of the folks benefit from it, we can take this kind of a show on the road and offer it in other cities just the same. And it's nothing coming out of our pocket, right? We're just letting people know how to take advantage of a reduced rate.
For a motion, do I have a second?
I'm happy to second. I'm excited. I think framing this as a pilot, during your presentation, you referenced that this is a first-time partnership with SSA in this way. I'm curious to know, and we would look forward to exploring this at CSFC, so heads up, in terms of what other types of services and county build services or cities build services offer this type of reduced rate across various programs for this type of qualification for being a county client. And also, and I'll ask this at CSFC, but just in terms of when we enroll someone into our programs, right? What is that welcome package? Here are all the things that now you can qualify for through participation in this program. And that could all work hand in hand with our outreach there. But happy to second. And
Perfect.
Yes, Supervisor Bikoga?
Yeah, thank you. I intend to support the motion, and thank you for the comments by my colleagues. I definitely also very much interested in the pilot program, and I would be interested in seeing the number of households for each of the areas. In terms of other possibilities, I'm excited for that. I actually have been working through my MTC hat on a means-based testing program for what we're calling Clipper Start, the pass you use to take transit, and looking at how we can automatically sign up folks who qualify for SSA or other programs. So that's something that I will be bringing forward to you all at some point. But I think there's a lot of great opportunities like that, and to get to like a one-stop shop system would be so helpful, I think, for our residents. So look forward to working on those types of projects. I just had one hopefully quick question before we take the vote. In terms of the route evaluation, which I think is great. Is that something that happens regularly to find the optimum service, or is this because we're starting a new contract?
Great question, Supervisor. Primarily in District 5 is serviced by Green Team.
Yes.
They're acquiring new technology to better assist them when those routings and routes, and given that a lot of District West is within the hard-to-serve areas, we're always looking at new ways on providing those services with hard-to-reach roads, especially with rains that we have. They're looking at technology to better help them navigate those areas, also to help consistency with drivers when there's a vacancy or someone's on vacation. We don't have issues with missed pickups. So this is an opportunity for us to embrace new technology to make services better.
That sounds really great. And I'm assuming, or have you been taking, like, I know customers will call, are we integrating those like points of contact on the improvement process? Or
I'm not sure if I understood your question, Supervisor.
so we get it sounds like we get quite a bit of community feedback if, there's some, like a missed pickup and whatnot. So it sounds like this technology will be able to integrate those, the feedback we get from the community. Is that right?
Correct, and also the position that Green Waste is going to hire for should be helping with those efforts also to help people understand that there's other ways other than calling in. There's emails, and hopefully we'll deploy new technology with District West to help the communication efforts between the hauler and the customer.
Great. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for all your hard work on this.
Thank you.
Okay, no further comments. Curtis, please take the roll.
Supervisor Abekoga.
Aye.
Supervisor Young.
Yes, thank you. And with great appreciation to the team, and Ilona, thank you for being here today.
Supervisor Ellenberg.
Yes.
Vice President Arenas.
Yes.
President Lee.
Yes, as well. Thank
Motion
you.
carries with 5.
I did open the public hearing on this one, right, Curtis? Just making sure.
We did call for speakers, and we did not
good.
have any.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, moving on. I'm going to go with the items that was initially pulled on the agenda, 42, 43, 51, and go to 23, if that's okay.
Well, I think
My
I
colleagues?
do have the information on 23.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You're
so-
ready for 23? Okay, let's go to 23 then. Go ahead.
So the origin on item 23 came out of a request from the board brought forward by Supervisor Simitian to move forward very quickly with a contract for veteran services due to the short timeline to get those in place. This came out of the budget process from the budget for the year that we're now in, so the May-June budget timeframe. Due to the timeline, there wasn't time for competitive bidding, hence the single source. The proposed item here is an amendment to that contract that does not increase the length of the contract, but accounts for increased service provision. On a going forward basis, there would be competitive bidding for the contract. So hopefully that answers the question.
Yes, Vice President Arenas, yes, go ahead.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'm going to assume that this is for countywide services, or is this specific to North County?
No, this is for the veterans' mobile oral health services. That includes services in South County, in central part of the county, and I believe in North County as well.
Thank you. No, I understand that the dental services, especially mobile, it's pretty specific. I just wanted to make sure, and I appreciate that. I know that they have some services that are offered in Gilroy, so down in South County. I appreciate the information and thank Joe from the dais for requesting this. Thank you. And to all of you for making it happen, of course.
We do need a motion to approve that.
Sure.
item.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Do we have any in the public who would like to speak on this item?
I have no speaker cards. Giving the public on Zoom a moment to raise their hands. I have no speakers on Zoom, so no public comment.
Close the queue for speakers. And I would just like to thank the SCVH and the VSO Veterans Office here for working together to continue funding this much-needed program for our veterans. When Supervisor Simitian and myself co-authored this referral for mobile dental services for veterans, we knew there was a lot of dental need among veterans at the time. That need hasn't slowed down. We started with 161 appointments over 3 days that last October stand-down event for services such as x-rays, dental cleaning, extractions, and fillings. And since that stand-down, there have been 9 more events hosted at the VSO in the Santa Clara and 2 events in Gilroy. And since this mobile dental service program started for veterans, Mobile Dental has provided 442 appointments for 302 veterans with 1,466 dental procedures. 141 veterans have been referred to SCVH for follow-up scheduling, with each veteran needing between 3 to 5 more dental visits to reach a state of stability. And that's just 6 months of work, and a quarter of these 302 veterans are new to the VSO itself. So for those who didn't know, a veteran actually needs to be rated 100% totally disabled to receive dental services through the VA. And that's what a huge gap is. That's noted by Supervisor Simitian and myself. And many veterans do not have this total disability rating, so most veterans entering a mobile dental program have not received dental services, some for over 5 years, and don't have a stable dentist. This report makes our mobile dental program for veterans whole for an entire calendar year, starting from last year's stand-down event in October through the end of the summer of this year. True to the spirit of this program, we are helping veterans get the initial dental services through the mobile dental, and we need to help these veterans find a dental home through our SCVH clinics or with a provider through their own insurance coverage for the long-term and financial sustainability. So let's just say thank you for all the good work to make this program successful. All right, let's go take the road. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I
Vice
wanted to
President
correct
Reynolds.
myself. I apologize. I didn't hear correctly. I recognized Supervisor Simitian for the efforts, but I'm sitting right next to
worries.
our president, who was also part of that request. And thank you for the additional information that is so unique to our veteran. Unfortunate bureaucracy to be 100% deemed disabled in order to qualify for dental services, which is just terrible. But I'm so happy to hear that so many veterans, I think you said 302 veterans, had received 440 different types of services or at least appointments, and that they were guided into a more permanent provider, which I think is so crucial. And when you haven't gone to the dentist, it's so scary, right? And so to be walked through that, or at least cared for in that way, I think is really important. And so anyways, thank you so much for this request.
Thank you, Vice President Reynolds. And on that note, the little public safety public service announcement I want to give people is that I'm a proud dental patient religiously doing my cleaning twice a year. Just went this Saturday and got a clean bill of health. In my 57 years, I've never had a cavity.
What?
I'm so proud of that. And I want to say that because I floss twice a day, and that's actually a very big deal.
Wow. I'm sorry.
There's a commendation coming for that.
So, just making that point, and the reason why flossing is so important is not just for cavity purposes. There's actually studies that shows that if you floss every day, it extends people's life expectancy by not 1 but 2 years. And when I heard that numbers, I was blown away. So just want to get the word out, and many dentists are happy that I actually say that publicly. Now continue that message. All right, on that note, Curtis, let's take the roll.
Supervisor.
Oh, I'm sorry, Supervisor Young, you have a comment?
Well, I'll add to it too. I think the Happy Dental program through Public Health is just jumping for joy right now. You might be their next poster child.
Great.
But I also wanted to add that I had a chance to witness the mobile dental clinic at the last stand down that you were referencing, and I want to add that it was beautiful. I actually stopped, and other people stopped to take photos because it really looked like from the future. It was all brand new equipment, pristine, clean, and I want to stress that because I think oftentimes when people hear about county services or free medical mobile services, there is a stigma or a misconception or misperception that it's dilapidated or dated equipment or materials are not as up to par as like the private market or the industry. But this was a beautiful structure and setup, and I think that's what we should come to expect in terms of our services to our veterans and to our most vulnerable.
Yes, and on that note, I just want to give a shout out to our Air Force veteran, Lieutenant Colonel Sandhu, who is the dentist executing this program. So thank her for the awesome work she's doing. All right, let's go take the roll.
Supervisor Abekoga.
Aye.
Supervisor Jung.
Yes.
Supervisor Ellenberg.
Yes.
Vice President Arenas.
Yes.
President Lee.
Aye as well. Thank you.
Motion carries.
All right, so next item is item 42, being put off for fiscal year 25-26 budget process. And I believe this was pulled by both Supervisor Abekoga and Ellenberg. So Supervisor Ellenberg, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Who am I talking to from budget? Oh.
We have our County Budget Director Ezekiel Vega and our former Budget Director Greg Gaturia here.
Hello to both of you. Thank you. I know that we already discussed some of the issues in your report during the mid-year meeting, but I asked to pull this item really for the sake of public transparency. While the process in this ledge file, for the most part, remains consistent with timelines of prior years, I just want to err on the side of over-communicating with the public, and certainly due to the increased level of budgetary uncertainty, as well as the expectation that our county is going to need to react to decisions that are made both at the federal and state levels on a pretty short timeline. It just felt important to me to be clear about how these unique circumstances may impact our budget approval process. Want to really thank administration and remind the public about a few useful websites. First, the budget calendar, which lists the dates covered in the ledge file. But I have a question there. Would it make sense to add any dates on which we expect to learn more about federal and state decisions, since those may likely be pivot points where we might have to be making significant changes? Of course, March 14th comes to mind, but there may be others, and others related to the state budgeting process.
There really aren't others that would make sense to add in here. So on the federal level, there are no fixed dates other than the March 14th potential shutdown date. Like I said, the federal fiscal year begins October 1st, which is, of course, well after our budget process concludes. On the state side, as is true every year, there'll be a May revise in May. But because the legislature will not have acted on the budget, we have to incorporate, as we do in other years, any state-related adjustments after the adoption of our budget. And so to the extent that there's significant state-related adjustments, we need to come back in August, September timeframe to address them. Mm-hmm. So there's really nothing on the state piece that is incorporated in either the recommended or even, for that matter, the adopted budget, because we don't even go by the May revise, of course, because the legislature hasn't yet acted.
Got it. Okay, thanks. Thank you for that. On the budget inventory, process. Certainly, each office has an independent process. The countywide inventory website is still an excellent resource for the CBOs. Could you include a link to that page in the budget calendar website?
Yes, Ezekiel Vega, County Budget Director. So I believe the answer to that is affirmative. We will be able to do that upon request, yes.
Great, thank you so much. And then I think also attaching to the May budget hearings, the line item on the budget calendar page as well.
Sounds great.
Thank you. Just a detail that I want to point out because it directly impacts our community-based organizations is that the inventory application deadlines appear to be slightly earlier than in years past, and just in an effort to allow for more processing time. I assume that it's an effort to allow for more processing time for administration. We have to submit, the board offices have to submit all ledge files by April 23rd. That deadline doesn't necessarily impact the CBOs, but it certainly may well result in earlier deadlines for the board office applications to be submitted. My office's deadline last year was April 22nd, but we're talking about 2 weeks earlier this year, correct?
I believe that the time frame is approximately a couple of days earlier than normally would have been, just to allow for processing of the legislative files in the system. But it is only a couple of days. I'm not sure how the due date from last fiscal year relates to the deadlines for the legislative files. But when we were discussing this, we were looking at a couple of days just to make sure that we have a better sense of the volume of requests that will be processed and also allow for appropriate approval both by the clerk of the board and also the budget office so that we have adequate time to be able to aggregate the data and present to the board. And if you want to add anything else.
Yeah, my understanding is 2 days.
2 days?
2 days in advance of when it otherwise would have been following the calendar from prior years, and that was in conversation between the clerk of the board's office and OBA due to the significant volume of items. The number of inventory items in recent years has increased very significantly. I'm not talking about the dollar amounts, but just the sheer number of
I
items.
have no concerns with your wanting more time. That seems legitimate. I just want to make sure that there is sufficient notice to applicants and that we're not catching organizations unaware that they have that they may have a little bit less time to get applications in. And I also just wanted to say it out loud for all of our benefit as well. So thank you. On the one last web page that I just want to highlight is the off-agenda report portal. I think this is a good source for anyone that's following conversations during the meetings. And I would ask if we could include budget-related requests for information on this website as they become available. They're included on the agenda during June budget hearings, but I think it could enable some enhanced public participation if they're posted and available to review in advance.
Yeah, that's really a question for the clerk's office. But those are provided on agenda at the first day of hearing.
Absolutely, we can do that. The challenge has always just been the volume and the time frame in which they come in, but we can work on incorporate that into the process.
Okay, thank you so much. And again, just want to thank administration and particularly the budget office in advance for any proactive communication you can provide during the budget cycle. I think that a lot of the public, or at least the public that pays attention to such things, is going to be trying to make sense of whether federal or state decisions have an impact on us, and we're the natural fit to really provide that communication. So we haven't, Ezekiel, had a direct meeting yet, but I would love to get one on the calendar with you. I know this is ramping up to an extraordinarily busy time, but I appreciate that you are here, and Greg, that you have stayed on to make that a smooth transition. Thank you.
Curtis, do we have any public?
And apologize. I'm happy to move receipt of the report.
Second.
Motion by
Arenas.
Allenberg, seconded by Rennes. Clerk, do we have any speakers?
We have no cards in chambers. Giving our Zoom speakers a moment to raise their hands. fill out a card, please?
Just to clarify, Supervisor Ellenberg, while we're waiting for the card, the motion is to approve the staff recommendation rather than receive report. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Thank you for catching that.
Before you start, just to close the queue, we have one speaker in chambers.
Good. 2 minutes, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, or good morning, so board members. Thank you for the additional time, 2 minutes. As I mentioned, or I tried to portray in my comments, is that your budget process is every day of the year through January 2029. You need to model these what-if scenarios to understand what are the options, what could happen. And then you as board, who always ask questions of staff, because you want to get down and drill down to different options to understand what is the best decision now. But if you don't have that time, and you're being rushed items to you to vote on that are politically painful and have a permanent impact on both those who receive services and those who deliver services, that's unfortunately sad. The technology exists today, as I mentioned earlier, that corporations have been using for decades, that enables them to scenario model all the complexity that exists in their businesses. And that complexity matches the County of Santa Clara or exceeds it. And why not look to those entities that are utilizing this software every day to make the best decisions, because they have to stay alive for profit for shareholders. The county needs to stay alive for its employees and the services it provides. Staying with manual methods of using 1990s technology of spreadsheets, again, it's slow. You don't have the time to make the decision. It's fallible. You get incorrect information. And when your staff leaves the county through normal attrition, that institutional knowledge is lost, having to restart all those things. So if you look at Medi-Cal, right, $116 billion comes from the federal level. If you look at any of the social welfare programs the county provides, so much is contingent from the federal government. And every department memo, every executive order, unfortunately, every tweet needs to be modeled so you can make the best decisions and not get stuck with a bad situation. Thank you.
That concludes public comment.
President
Thank
Lee,
you. Yes.
May I
Vice
just say
Mayor
a couple of
Yes,
quick
please,
comments?
sure.
I also
Absolutely.
pulled the item.
Sure.
and
I'll go ahead
mainly-
and close the queue. And
Oh,
so
thank
go
you.
ahead, please.
Okay, yes. Thank you. I had similar concerns or comments as Supervisor Ellenberg, so it was really for public transparency, but my interest is about community participation, and I was just hoping you could highlight what are the opportunities for community engagement? So I know we have the public workshops, but are there others? I know we have the website that we can direct folks to, but if we could just let folks know how they can engage with the process, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, through the president, Greg Etruria, at the County Executive's Office. Yeah, so there are a few opportunities for public engagement. One is the 3 days of workshop in May, as you mentioned. There's also 3 days of hearings in June as well. Any board member, any board meeting, of course, there's opportunities. Then we also have on the county website interactive portals to be able to go into and explore the past budget and come May 1st, the recommended budget, and interested members could drill down to areas of interest, graph different types of budgetary information, so there's the opportunity to gain broader picture as well as zoom in on particular areas of interest. So I think there's several areas and opportunities there. Thank you.
I also want to add that departmental submissions are posted on each committee in April, so those are also heard at each board committee in April.
Okay, great, thank you. I'll just say that I've been trying to learn the budget the last couple of years, mainly through the website, and there is a lot of information. I'll have to go back again this year, but I also did find that it was a little challenging at times. I know the budget is huge, but I'm thinking of ways of how we can use technology to make it more easily accessible and understandable is something that I am interested in. So something I know down the road maybe we can think about and work on. Thank you.
Yes, Vice President Arenas?
Oh, thank you. I had asked in our last discussion around the budget about the criteria for the departments that are developing their respective budget, and specifically the reductions, right? I asked about what is the criteria, what's the process, and then you outlined it really wonderfully. And I'm hoping that we can integrate what you outlined verbally and integrate it somehow online, so that when the time comes, our residents understand that if there are any reductions, this is the criteria that we're using, this is kind of the process that they can expect. I know this is a little different than what we're talking about here in terms of budget process, but it isn't something that we normally have offered our residents, right? And the other thing that we haven't offered our residents are our budget community meetings to once again discuss what our budget is about and how we're dealing with either the impact of the federal government or the reductions that we need to just process in order to not be in deficit. All of the complex process that we do, but held in a 1 hour meeting or 1 hour and a half meeting. I'd love to see that take place this upcoming meeting, this upcoming fiscal, or within this fiscal process. I know I asked for it last process, and I'm not sure if there's anything in development. I understand we are. We have so many things that are changing. We obviously have a new budget director. We have the federal government. We're holding our breath, right? And we are also making changes. But as much as we can, I'm hoping that we can alleviate any anxiety from folks, including not just our residents, but our grantees.
Yes, so first, we absolutely can incorporate some information on the website related to the priorities that I laid out in the conversation last time. And also, we're working on a website specific to the federal funding issues, and we can cross-link to that as well, but that'll be focused on our federal exposure, federal funding streams, and the issues going on there, which I think are really top of mind in terms of the risk and uncertainty that we're facing. So we can definitely incorporate that. We did put together materials last year in response to the board's request to provide communication and material to support board members in outreach related to the budget, and we can recirculate those materials for this cycle as well and continue to be available to provide support for any of those meetings or conversations.
Well, I formally invite you to my district to discuss budget. I look forward to seeing that, and thank you for that feedback. The other item I wanted to ask about, because I know we said in lieu of a priority setting session we would have, and this is in the meeting minutes, you would report to the board in April concurrently with the plan, with the county strategic plan update rather than a formal board, a priority setting session. And so that's going to happen in April, according to the minutes. And I'm hoping that whatever we discuss in April can then be held in terms of a criteria or integrated into your budget message and process.
So my understanding of that conversation, that process really was related to prioritizing the board referral matrix and those requests. The budget process itself, the budget balancing process is actually concluded for purposes of the recommended budget by the second week of April. So, we're in the middle of that process now. And it's because of how complicated it is to put the pieces together and get the materials in place to actually have a recommended budget document that's available by May 1. So, of course, we will, the budget is a living document, and there's revised recommendations that come forward again in June. Again, I've outlined the kind of big picture priorities in the discussion that was had at the last meeting. But the prioritization of the referral matrix itself is not an item that per se directly would be built into the recommended budget publication. I think what we can do is incorporate some language related to that in the budget message. That's part of that for sure, because there'll be a little time to build that in.
Well, let me bifurcate those two things, because one is the priority setting process for the board, and the second is the referral matrix, or the adjustments to the referral matrix, however the board decides to look at that. And I don't want to include the referral piece with this discussion. What I was specifically talking about was just the priority setting process.
Got it. I was
Right.
confused by it. Sorry. So you're talking
Yes.
about what we currently have as our 5 big priorities. Certainly, we can include those. In fact, we currently have been including the current ones in the budget document, and to the extent that those are updated or changed, that can be reflected in the budget document, yes.
Okay, and then who made the motion? Was that you, Susan? Oh, I'm sorry.
Supervisor Ellenberg made the motion.
So I'm wondering if maybe what we could do is place the budget process discussion after the fiscal year, after the end of this fiscal year, maybe in August or September, to actually discuss, really work through that budget process out, because it always feels like we're not catching up and not lining up what the board wants to do in terms of budget, priority setting process, or the referral matrix, or whatever other internal or process-related item that we want to discuss. And so it never lines up with what the budget process is, right? We're always trying to catch up, and I understand we need to be flexible. I'm going to be flexible and ask for us to, though formally in our next fiscal year, have a item to discuss the budget process, the process for the budget process.
That is fine with me.
Perfect. And I think those are all my questions. Yes, thank you.
Okay, got a motion and seconded, and no further comments, questions? Let's take the roll.
Supervisor Abeikoka.
Aye.
Supervisor Jung.
Yes.
Supervisor Ellenberg.
Yes.
Vice President Arenas.
Yes.
President Lee.
Aye as well.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 43, next is the report from the Office of Sustainability, which is an item that I pulled, so I'll just go start with the comments. But let me see if there's anyone in the public who would like to speak on this item first.
I have no speaker cards in chambers for this item, and I am not seeing any hands raised on Zoom.
Okay, I'll close the queue. So first of all, I just want to say thank you, staff, for the report and all the good work you're doing to reduce our county's greenhouse gas emissions. While biogas has been proposed as being considered net zero if it's captured from a source that's producing these emissions anyways, it's certainly better than natural gas, but I'm still concerned about the air quality impacts of burning biogas itself. The source of biogas is also important. Increasing demand for biogas can encourage farmers, for example, to install manure to energy projects with pipelines for gas rather than shifting to sustainable farming practices that will reduce overall emissions. And we do have contracts for these fuel cells, and the cost of terminating them early is extremely high, but there's also relatively small when you compare to the cost we'll see from the impacts of climate change. So 10 years from now, when the contract ends, it will be 2034. 2030 is a key year for climate change. That year, the emissions need to be cut nearly in half in order to limit our warming to the 1.5 degrees Celsius, which is, of course, looking more and more bleak at this point. The world's not at all on track to do this, so while counting may be a small drop in the pond, we must take every step we can to do our part to reduce our contribution to greenhouse gas emissions. At this time, I understand that decommissioning a few cells is not feasible due to high cost and lack of the funding source, but I would say that I don't want this item to be completely off the map or be forgotten. So should the county find itself in a position where taking action on these few cells is more feasible, and should a funding source arise prior to 2034, I would like the board to reconsider this item again. That's doable, Justine? Yes, okay. Yeah,
Yes, Supervisor, that should be doable.
okay, great. So I just go ahead and make the motion to receive the report and request the yearly reports to the Sustainability Commission and Hewlett on the fuel cells generators and transition options and costs moving forward.
Second.
And seconded by Rennes. Moved and seconded. Thank you. And no further comments from our colleague? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Vice President.
I just wanted to ask about the microgrid feasibility study for the Select County buildings. I know it's supposed to be completed in 2025. When do you anticipate, more or less, by the end of the year? Or is that still on
Bayberry
track?
Facilities and Fleet, we anticipate actually end of December.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, I'll go ahead and Curtis, let's take the roll.
Supervisor Abekoga.
Aye.
Supervisor Young.
Yes.
Supervisor Ellenberg.
Yes.
Vice
Yes.
President Arenas.
Yes.
President Lee.
Aye as well.
Motion carries.
Okay, moving to our last item today, which is item 51 regarding the housing services at 10 Kirk Avenue, which is also something that I pulled. Before I start, let's see if there's anybody in public who'd like to speak on this item.
I have no cards in chambers. Looking to Zoom for anybody raising their hands. Does not appear that we have any public comments.
Okay, let's go ahead and close the queue for any public comments here. So I don't have any more, I've got the report, so I don't need to go through that, but I do have some questions. But let me see, oh yeah, Supervisor Ellenberg, do you have questions? Go ahead.
I just have some comments, which I'm happy to make after your questions.
Sure, let me go ask those questions
Yeah,
first, if
please.
you don't mind. So first is, thank you again, KJ. And I just want to sunshine some of the work that's been going on since we have purchased this property about a year ago now. We've had lots of changes and improvement to the facility that has been nice, but of course we also hear about some issues that's arisen. So also regarding the future planning for development, so one of my questions is, can you update us the status of the planning with our housing authority on this potential development of 10 Kirk, please, KJ?
Good morning, President Lee. KJ Kaminsky, Acting Director for the Office of Supportive Housing, and joined by Hillary Armstrong, our Deputy Director. So the current status, we are meeting with the Housing Authority regularly and developing a plan and looking at the site. It's very early stages right now in those discussions, and the Housing Authority is currently working on a draft community engagement plan and a pre-development budget. So we should have more information in the coming months.
Great, thank you. And how will the county's role change once the anticipated VA agreements in place with Abode after June 30th?
Thank you for the question, President. As you'll recall, when we acquired the site, there was a shelter operator currently at 10 Kirk. When they lost their agreement with the veterans, with the VA, the county stepped in to contract with a shelter provider so that the shelter residents could remain on site and continue receiving services. Since that time, Abode Services, who is the county contractor, was awarded the new contract through the VA, and they are just in the final phases of entering into that contract, awaiting final inspections. Once that is completed, we would expect our role to change in terms of our relationship to the site of, focusing on property management for the renters that are continue to be there, as well as the future development of the site.
Thank you. I understand that staff has been providing the updates on the 10 Kirk to our Veterans Commission previously, but it wasn't on the agenda in the last month's meeting, and that the recommendation was the Veterans Commission to receive 2 reports a year for the thoughtful updates and discussion. Given this such a priority project for OSH and now county administration for our homeless veterans, I really think that we could have more engagement with our Veterans Commission. So I would basically like to make a motion to receive report, but also ask that the administration also provide updates at each of the bi-monthly Veterans Commission meeting with the comprehensive update on the facility progress, number of tenants, the type of tenants, and also regarding the future plans for the facility, if that's okay.
I'm happy to second that.
Okay, seconded by Ellenberg. You know, I'm aware that there might be some challenges that the Veterans Commission has overlapped with Hewlett meetings at times, and so this request, if conflicted with OSH, you know, sending a staff member to Hewlett, then obviously we don't want that to happen. But I do think that it's important to be able to that, if possible, for OSH to send a dedicated staff to provide this 10 Kirk facility updates to the Veterans Commissions as well. Even though the Veterans Commission, our county, are not in a position to direct the VA how to administer the program of abode, the county now owns our property, and we certainly have a duty to provide the leadership and oversight to support our homeless veterans. And some of these veterans are individuals who continue to go through our county's revolving doors of housing support services. So I would certainly want our Veterans Commission to have closer contact with staff on these plans of renovations and the future redevelopment. And for future decisions that require the board's discussion and approval regarding a 10 Kirk facility, I request that the administration do prepare those reports to come back to the full board. Is that okay, KJ?
Thank you, President Lee. Maybe just one question
Sure.
For clarification. The reporting to the Veterans Commission each month would continue beyond the period which we're a shelter operator?
I'm sorry, do you mean?
So as we mentioned, our role will change. Right
Yes.
now, we are involved as a shelter operator as well as working on the future development. Is the request to report to the Veterans Commission ongoing, even beyond the period with which we're operating the shelter?
Yeah, I think it would be good for them to know what's going on, basically. And again, the Veterans Commission is an advisory role. They should not supersede your work in any means in terms of what you're moving forward, but I think it would be good for them to understand what's going on, to advise and let us know what's going on as well through the process. Okay? All right, thank you. Motion seconded. If no further comments, let's
I
take
have
things.
comments.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just a point of clarification,
Yes.
does the motion include the approval of the staff recommendation?
Oh, absolutely. It recommends the staff's recommendation. Thank you. All right. Oh, and further comments? Oh, yes, Supervisor Ellenberg, sorry, go ahead.
Thank you, and I'll start by thanking you, President Lee, for your consistent advocacy and commitment to our veterans community. I'm very glad to support both of the recommended actions today regarding Kirk Avenue, and I'm very proud that our county is working to assist unhoused veterans in this really difficult time. And I can't miss the opportunity to sunshine that this work exists in such stark contrast to the federal administration right now, who are just inexplicably turning their backs on veterans. I think the cruel efforts to decimate the Veterans Administration by firing thousands of workers who are vets will undoubtedly bring immeasurable harm to our service members and families. I had the opportunity, and I'm not sure if you were in the room as well, to hear the VA Secretary Doug Collins speak last week at the NACO conference, and I was frankly horrified. His job literally should be to stand up for veterans, but instead he was justifying the massive cuts to programs and services. So again, I'm grateful to our staff. I'm grateful to this county leadership and my colleagues that we continue to do the right thing and care for our residents to the very best of our ability.
Thank you, Supervisor Ellenberg, for reminding me on that. And just in terms of the numbers, I just want to state for the public that 30% of our federal workforce are veterans because of veterans preference, 30%. And with this DOGE cut that's happening, the estimated number of folks that's already been fired who are veterans is as high as 80,000 veterans who have served the country and decided to dedicate their life to serve, our federal government afterwards. So I just want to give the magnitude of the numbers that I'm talking about, of how ridiculous this is, and the need for these services for our veterans is more than ever. So thank you for bringing that up again, Supervisor Ellenberg. Yes. All right. On that unhappy note, let's take the roll.
Supervisor Abekoga.
Aye.
Supervisor Jung.
Yes.
Supervisor Ellenberg.
Yes.
Vice President Arenas.
Yes.
President Lee.
Yes, as well.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. Before I adjourn the meeting, I want to give another public service announcement that I'm holding up this card. It's happening right here at 5:30 in Chambers this Friday, March 14th. Is our State of the County, which I'm hoping to be able to deliver the first State of the County as the president of this board in these very challenging times. And looking forward to see everybody here. I promise there'll be great music and even good food afterwards. How's that? All right. Thank you very much. And the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.